Hey YouTube, going to do a quick install of a brake controller for my camper into a 2013 Toyota 4Runner SR5. Here I have a trailer brake controller. It's the impulse module. You see it's got the standard emergency brake, and then of course it's got the sensitivity adjustment. I went ahead and removed the plug. This was right about there. You can tell the video right there. Let's cut it free. This harness was the one that came with the 4Runner. It was in the glove box when I bought it. And this was the wiring harness that it came with. So if yours is a little different, it's pretty easy to follow along. Basically, you've got a black, a green, yellow, a white, black, and a yellow. And of course, you only have 4 wires coming off the brake controller and 5 from the factory harness. So the wires that you have, like I said, maybe a little differently, so you do some research before you go wiring. But basically, you've got a black wire from your factory harness. That's going to go to your black wire into your brake controller. Your yellow wire is your electric brake. As you see here, mine is the yellow trailer accessory or electric brake feed wire from brake controller. That's basically going to go to your black, or to your blue rather, your blue wire on your brake controller. Then you have a yellow or green wire with a yellow stripe, which is your green and yellow. That's your vehicle stop lamp switch to brake controller input. Of course, that's going to go to your red stop wire, labeled stop on some of these. Like I said, they are most of them are labeled. And that leaves your white wire that you're going to hook up. There is still one more wire, and we'll get to that in a second. But your white and black wire from your factory harness is going to go to your white wire on your brake controller, and I believe that is labeled, let's see, that is labeled ground. So you still have 1 wire left, and I haven't taped it up or cut it. I basically just took some zip ties and I zipped it up, and this is going to be the green wire with silver stripe. You can see it here. This wire is not used for the 4Runner. A couple of different websites talk about its use, but again, there are only 4 wires here, 5 wires here. So we're not going to be splicing any of them together. This one is just not needed. We'll come back to you in just a second and show you where to find it underneath the service module, underneath the dash. Alright, so we've got the kick panel here, or the pedals. These kick panels here, and here you will not need to remove, at least you didn't have the 4Runner. We're going to go way up in here. It's going to be kind of hard to see, and I'll get my light on in here. But there's a bolt right back up in here. And then this is your wire back there. This thing is really hard to find, and I left it where it was when I found it, just so I could show you how hard it is to find. This bolt here, and come back around here, and there's this guy exposed back here. Okay, it's tucked in back in there just like that. You reach back up in there, find that guy. Here's your service plug. That's what you're looking for. Okay, so we're gonna come back to it in a second. I'm gonna plug up our factory plug, and we're gonna run some wires and find a good place to mount this. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I've got it mounted here. As you see, I've got a little dot right there. Got power to the module, and as I showed you before, basically just tapped right into that service plug. You can see right there. That is a booger back in there. They don't want you to be able to do it from home, I tell you that. Okay, so now we've got just a few, maybe about 1.5 feet of wire. We've got to find a good place to mount this. Obviously, you want to try and make sure it's mounted so it's not in your way. Doesn't inhibit you from driving any, especially not setting the brake or accelerating. And this might end up being a not so bad spot. Okay, you're also going to keep in mind that you want to keep it away from your knees and your legs. You don't want to end up kicking this thing. If you've got enough distance, a lot of people like to wire it just above the pedal, but I don't think I have the distance to do that, so we're going to go about right here. Okay, I found a pretty good spot to wire it up right here. You guys can see under the dash. This location right here is probably going to serve as the best spot. Once it's all wired up, it'll be about right there. Now, of course, you obviously want to be able to reach it, but you don't want it to be in your way. You want to be able to get to it quickly if you need to for an emergency. In case you get to a little fishtail on your trailer or swaying, you can squeeze down that red button there and it'll bring the brakes back. So I'm going to mount this up there. I'm going to run my wires up, tuck them up nice and neat. Got some zip ties here. Finish it off. We'll come back with the final product. All right, we got it wired up. Nice and secure. Good power to it. Boy, it's not the prettiest thing. My wife's going to have to deal with it. She wants to have her trailer breaking. Okay, so now we're going to tuck these wires up into here, get these out of the way so they're not a hindrance to anybody driving. Too bad that's the only place to mount it. And we'll come back to you. Okay, we got it all wired up. I got them all tucked up into there real nice. Be careful of the e-brake. Make sure you don't get anything in the way of that. Now it's time to fire this guy up. Test her out. Alright, so I got it fired up. Let's see, we're getting about 60. Take it around the block, we'll figure out just exactly what it is. And just don't want to pop up. So we'll take it out for a spin and see what we got. Well, I think we figured out our magic number was 34. So 34 was a good spot for me, driving around a few times. Might be a good spot for you to start at. If you've got the same application, about a 3,300 pound camper trailer, and the 2013 Toyota SR5 edition. Thanks for watching.